Reality is a construct of perception. Carl is a construct of coffee and bad life choices. Here they meet in Carl versus Reality.
Hello, thank you for joining me for this episode of Carl versus Reality. How's it going? I'm back in the old podcasting tree. It's a bit more warmer than it was last time. Bloody hell, it was cold last time. Almost Baltic weather it was. Horrendous. But it's actually the tide is turning definitely. It's definitely not as warm as it was last time, like when I was out and about. Temperatures dropped, which is no surprise really, is it? Last week's listeners will know the full story of all that. We won't go into that. You have to listen to last week's episodes to work out what the hell I'm on about. Am I pretending or what's going on? Actually, I batch record these, so let's just pretend it's a different week. But I'm in my podcasting tree. I've been walking for about half an hour. I'm going to sit down my tea. In my old podcast, I used to do a thing called tarot and tea, where I drink a different type of herbal tea and do a tarot reading. I don't do tarot readings on the podcast anymore because it just became a little bit more difficult to do, so I don't do that anymore. But I still drink my herbal teas, and I've got into this tea recently. It's called Tulsi or Holy Basil. It's got other bits and pieces in it. I've got a travel cup here, but unfortunately on my travels I somehow have managed to rip the bag open. And so right now I've got bits of stuff floating in some water. It's beverage. It's a nice beverage. It's nice. But unfortunately, there's bits floating in it, which is fine. I'm still going to drink it. There's nothing there that can kill me. It will just get stuck in my teeth and just be quite unpleasant, really. But it is what it is. These things happen, don't they? It's a metaphor for life, really, isn't it? Life's a run until your teabag bursts. That isn't a euphemism, I don't believe. It might be, I don't know. I've never had my teabag burst. Well, apart from right now, but that's an actual teabag, not like a metaphor or a euphemism. Don't know where I'm going with that. But anyway, so I'm in my little my tree. I love this little tree. It's actually quite funny because as I was going into the tree, someone saw me and I was a bit like, I wonder what they think I'm doing, literally. So basically, I don't know what kind of tree it is, but it's basically like I would say like a little, maybe a grove. I don't know, it's not, if it's big enough for that. I don't know what makes a grove or a forest or whatever. But it's tiny, it's maybe like, I don't know, like a dozen trees, and it's quite overgrown and all that kind of stuff. And, so me sort of clambering my way through branches and like horizontal branches and all that kind of stuff to sit in the same tree that I sit in each week. Probably someone was like, what is he doing in there? That's weird. He's probably up to something weird. And I think that there's a lot of people in life that tend to think like that. They just have this thing where they think that someone's doing something that isn't normal, or what's considered normal. Like, it's not normal for a 41-year-old man to be climbing into a tree, not climbing a tree, but going into this little wooded area. He's probably up to no good. He's probably going to smoke some crack in there or something. I ain't doing that. But there's a certain, mindset that we all get into. I mean, I used to do it too, is where I think, I bet I do that because people might think I'm weird. I embrace that now. I am weird and I don't care. Why should I care about that? It's just the way it is. I'm an eccentric and I stand by my actions. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anybody any harm. So what difference does it make? Some people might think I'm weird, and the person who was walking the dog probably thought, what's he up to? That's a bit weird. But us eccentrics, we always find each other. And I think most people who go out for walks and rambling and all that kind of stuff, we are a bunch of weirdos. Not in a bad way. I'm saying that in a loving way. I'm one of you. Don't have me for that. I'm just saying, really. But anyway, there's so basically whenever I just going about my normal day, I like to just make notes on my phone, stuff I like to talk about, because it's actually, I'm going to show you a little bit behind the curtain there. Obviously, this is a solo podcast of some guy walking around talking crap. And sometimes I have these thoughts of, I might make a note of that. And so on my phone, I've got these little prompts that I have that I just write like a sentence down. I'm like, what is that all about? And there's a few on there. And one of the ones that sort of caught my eye just before I hit record was abandoned shopping trolleys. It's just an interesting thing, I think, seeing an abandoned shopping trolley. I saw one when I was out for a stroll the other day, actually. It's just a shopping trolley on its side, just left, abandoned. Like it was once important, now it's not. And it's kind of interesting, because I just thought, well, why is it there? Why is this shopping trolley there? So basically the path I was going on, there is actually, it connects like one area, or like where I live, to like a shopping place. And it's like a nice sort of footpath and bike path and all that kind of stuff, all sort of rolled into one. And it's obviously frequented by a lot of people and a lot of ne'er-do-wells who actually are up to no good. You know, it's one of them things, really. And so I had this sort of thought that obviously maybe some people thought, oh, it'd be really fun if I steal a shopping trolley. Ha ha ha. Get in the shopping trolley. I'll push you around. Ha ha ha. Oh, get out. I want to get in the shopping trolley so you can push me about. Ha ha ha. Isn't this great? And in my head, I'm picturing maybe sort of youths, like utes, don't know. But at some point they must have just thought, well, hang on a second. We're really far away from the supermarket now. What are we going to do with this? We can't take it home. Our parents will bollock us for this. We can't just turn up with a shopping trolley. We can't like get too far away from the supermarket because it's very clearly been stolen, you know. And yeah, and so they just obviously just abandoned ship. And we're like, do you know what? Leave it here. Fuck it. We'll leave it there. Maybe a deer would like to use it, or a seagull or something. But yeah, alas, we'll never know. It's like the kind of like the thing is with this, the whole shopping trolley thing is the fact that the shop that was stolen from shuts at 8, so you can't blame them being pissed or drunk or anything like that, because very clearly they probably weren't. And I remember back in the day, back in the old 90s, when people used to go out and get drunk and all that kind of stuff, go on a night out. So I'm just crossing my legs. They go on a night out, that's still a traffic cone. Like, that's a badge of honour. I've got a traffic cone. I've stolen a traffic cone. Ha ha ha, I've got a traffic cone. I saw a traffic cone, I picked it up and I took it with me. I used it like a tannoy, and I was like, ha, stop telling me what to do. And, you know, it's like, let's wave it around and all that kind of stuff. Isn't, you know, a lot of people tend to do that. They tend to get a bit light-fingered when it comes to being drunk sometimes, because it's like, look at the bands, isn't it fun? And I'll be honest, there have been moments in my life when stuff has crossed my mind to I don't do it, obviously. I think I once stole like a plastic doorstop. That was just for a laugh, you know, just to make someone else laugh. And I had to get talked out of it because I had a group of people saying, oh, you should totally nick that. There was some sort of function at the local Conservative club, and there was a picture of John Major on the wall, like a painting, a portrait of John Major. And I thought it'd be really funny to have that in my living room. I'm not Conservative. I don't even like John Major. But, you know, it was there. I thought about it. I nearly took it. I didn't. But, you know, it's something that people do. And the traffic cone's also quite funny because, like, you get it home, what are you going to do with it then? You know? There's this, the whole, you know, the thought process of, like, throw it away now or throw it away later. How can you, like, comfortably throw away a traffic cone, because very clearly it's been nicked? People don't have traffic cones, really. I guess you can buy. I'd never looked online to see if I can buy a traffic cone. But yeah, there's all these kind of, you know, things that people do when they're drunk and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, those days are behind me. But yeah, this tea is honestly, it's got these floaty bits are massive. I think it's got black pepper in it as well. It's very nice. I don't know what brand it is. The thing is, I bought it from TK Maxx, and the problem with buying like anything from TK Maxx is you'll never see that again. So just my thing is like, ooh, an exotic tea, enjoy it for a little bit, and then like it's gone. So then, yeah, just, you know, enjoy it whilst you can. But this is rather nice. I actually have experimented with actually making my own herbal teas. I may have mentioned this before, I don't know. But I like herbal teas and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually trying to drink more herbal tea more recently because not trying to cut down on caffeine or anything like that specifically, but I just forget there's a whole genre of like beverages that I'm ignoring. And people are like, I don't like hot drinks. Fine, that's fine. But I myself do. That is yeah. What the hell? Sort of looking into this. The bag is the house. The bag is literally split so bad. I've actually never seen a tea bag split that much. That's insane. It's biodegradable, so that's fine. I'll leave it on the floor. I'm not taking it back with me. But yeah, because there's all. I won't go into too much because I've mentioned and made reference to me being a hippie, and I am a hippie, and I'm happy with that. I'm comfortable in my hippiness. I like the idea of growing my own tea and all that kind of thing, because why pay for something I can grow myself? You know, some of these teas can be quite expensive, and also they're very relaxing. The whole thing is relaxing. You know, growing it, cultivating, blah 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 blah. It goes on and on and on. But yeah. That is nice. That is a nice cup of tea. Anyway, I'm waffling on here about essentially nothing still. But then that's what we've come to expect. This podcast is basically about a bunch of crap that no one really cares about. But I do it for the love of doing it. It gets me out of the house. And if people enjoy listening to it, fantastic. If they don't, whatever. But, yeah. Anyway. Until the next time, look after yourselves and all that kind of thing. Don't forget to support me on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. The links for all those can be found on carlversusreality.com. It got picked up on the fact I didn't give out the address. carlversusreality.com. My reality. Abandoned shop and trolleys and drinking herbal tea in a bush or a tree. Anyway, until next time. Take care of yourselves, and ta-ta.